Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about my 5 most used and arguably favorite gardening tools. Come join me in the chaos. Alright, so my favorite pruners, I'll put a link to these if you're curious, but I love these. Lightweight, not sponsored, really good for pruning something like, say, elderberry, which is what this is. I'm actually going to take some cuttings to do some propagation experiments in just a minute, but that's my favorite pruner. Little Fiskars, not sponsored. If they want to sponsor me. All right, my second favorite gardening tool is got to be these cheap little box cutters. I don't know if you've seen these before, but you can just swap these little blades out as much as you want, so you don't have to worry if you're going to do something dumb and like snap the tip off your blade. I know I've done that before with a nice pocket knife. I'm just being reckless, using it as a prying tool or whatever, and then I end up damaging it. These things are awesome because you can just swap out the blades as much as you want. I think you can buy like a pack of like 5 of these for like 10 or 20 bucks or something, so super cheap. You don't have to worry about losing them because they're so cheap. My third favorite gardening tool, a spade. And I'm going to show you how I use the number 1 and number 3 in conjunction. So a spade basically has a really long shovel tip, and it's skinny, so it's easy to push in the ground. And I use this a lot for propagation, and I can actually show you that right now. So say I take something like cutting, if you can see this on the camera, cutting of elderberry. All right, so say I take a cutting of elderberry, and I want to start another elderberry plant. I have so many now, I don't really want more, but if I did, I could take this cutting, and I just need to get it into the ground, that bottom node, and I like to have that top node just flush with the surface. And so let me adjust this camera. So all I would need to do is poke a hole in the soil with the spade. Don't forget which one's the bottom. And then you shove that elderberry cutting in the ground and pack the soil around it, and boom, I just propagated an elderberry bush. Super easy with a spade. That's why I love the spade. So that's definitely my number 3. All right, so my number 4 has got to be this cart. Just moving everything around really easily. I can load this thing up with mulch or whatever I want. I think it's Rubbermaid, or yep, it's a Rubbermaid cart. Love this thing. All plastic. The wheels can't go flat. The tires can't go flat, I mean. And then it holds, I don't even know, like 10 cubic feet or something. It holds like a 1/4 cubic yard. So holds a ton of stuff. Not literally a ton, but I've probably put 500 or 600 pounds of stuff in here, and it does fine. So that's my number 4. I think my number 5 has to be tied, because I use these 2 tools so much. So I have this hoe. It's modified. It used to have some prongs on the back, and I broke them off. And I just use these for whenever I'm doing layering. So if I'm doing a layering type grow, so basically what layering is where you take a branch and you open up a little trench and you bury the trench you bury the branch in that trench and then close it up, and then you can propagate that way. So this is very useful for propagation, just opening up the soil. So I like this thing, and I think that was Fiskars as well. I can't remember. And then tied with that is these loppers. I don't use these quite as often unless it's something so thick that I can't get my pruners around. The pruners can be kind of difficult sometimes unless you have really strong grip strength. So these can be nice to get through harder woods. Things like elderberry, I mean, you can get through those with scissors just because they're so spongy. But bigger things like oak or walnut, you're going to probably want to have some loppers just to get through some of those bigger cuts. So anyway, those are some of my favorite tools, things that I use. I also like these coveralls that I'm wearing. Also not sponsored. I believe I got those from Tractor Supply or something, not really sure. I used to always just wear dress clothes and nice stuff out in the yard when I got off work, and then I'd end up ruining my clothes. So it's really convenient to have something that you can just kind of slip over everything. So anyway, those are some of the things. I had somebody asking me about some of the things that I used, some of the tools that I use gardening, because they're trying to get ideas for their gardening spouse that they could buy them for Christmas. So I just thought of a bonus tool that I forgot to bring up, and that's a pull saw. You don't have to get the Ego ones, but whichever one you like the best. They're very convenient for cutting wood. You don't have to bend over. So I have a regular chainsaw as well, but I find myself using this when I just don't feel like leaning over a whole bunch, just because it ends up making my back hurt because I have bad posture. So if you struggle with bad posture or don't have to lean over, a pull saw makes it really convenient for just getting down there and just chopping, chopping wood, whatever else you got.